We're going to give it a few minutes for others to arrive. Let's see. Let me go and pull my chat. Close. Where do I get that? Let's see. Pop out chat. There it is. It's been a while since I've streamed on YouTube, so I'm having to get used to it again. And I take it everybody hears the audio fine. Do you hear audio okay? There will be a delay. Audio's fine, okay. Yeah, actually there are 12 55-inch televisions that I use for monitoring, and there's this, they're LED, and I have a 55-inch LG OLED right here in front of me that you cannot see, but you may see a glimpse of it here. 55-inch LED. They're all going at 3840 by 2160. 3840 by 2160. That's like having four 27-inch. It's like having four 27.5-inch monitors all on one display. Each at 1980 by 1920 by 1080. Excuse me, 1920 by 1080. It's like having four 27-inch monitors on each 55-inch 4K display. That cuts down on a lot of power cords and a lot of display cords. You dramatically reduce your amount of wiring you need. If you intend on having this many monitors, it's best instead of monitors to use televisions, I've found. All right, we're still going to wait just a few more minutes here for people to arrive. While we're waiting for people to arrive, I'm going to get more coffee. It will take me about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and I'll be back, and then we'll probably start 1 minute after that, just to give some people time from Twitter, from my premium Discord group, give time for people to get here. But I'll be right back. And in the meantime, let's just get a chart up. Let's just have this up for now. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Give people time to get here. All right, I am back. Got me some fresh coffee. Let's see how many we have here now. We'll get started probably in one more minute. One more minute. Playbacks. Huh. I can't tell how many are on here currently. I'll tell you what, I'll look at my other thing. I can't tell. It's no big deal. I'm not going to worry about how many are on here right now. Let's actually wait one more minute, about 60 seconds. About 60 seconds. I want to, just in case there's some premium. Unfortunately, I did not send an email to premium subscribers, but this is not really education. This is just an analysis of current price action for Bitcoin. That's it. No other pairs, just providing analysis for Bitcoin right now. This is not long, will not be a long live stream. It's quicker for me to do a live stream to provide my opinion, which, by the way, this is strictly my opinion. I am not responsible for any financial decisions that people make based off my opinion on any social media. Just wanted to make that disclaimer. And of course, you could go to my website, WyckoffMode.com, if you want to know more about my methods. Soon we will be providing signals as well. Swing signals that I will set alarms for to wake me up at any time, mainly using the near-term group and mid-term group for swing signals. Scalping signals using the short-term group of time frames will only be provided when I am awake, when I use the short-term group of time frames for scalping signals. But again, we're hoping to get started with that next weekend. We have Android done, a few more issues with iOS, but it won't be long before we get that done as well. Yep. Datos. All right. We are going to switch that back to this chart, and we are about to get started. And again, remind you, this is only a Bitcoin analysis. No analysis for any other coins or anything like that. I have business taxes, unfortunately, that I need to finish up doing. A lot involved with my business taxes that are due March 15th, but I need to have them to my accountant before then, who will then do his thing before then actually wiring the taxes to the IRS then shortly thereafter, before March 15th. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I don't know that I'm going to be posting on TradingView for a while, y'all. I'm just thinking more, to me, I've just gotten to the point where I could care less about my reputation number. It's just a damn number. Means nothing. That's the way I see it now. That's not why I'm there on TradingView anymore. You might say I lost focus on really what I was trying to accomplish. I'm not on TradingView to accomplish getting a high reputation score. I'm on TradingView to show people that, in my opinion, I believe there's a better way to do your analytics and trading. I believe there's a better way. That's why I'm on TradingView. But at the same time, I'm also realizing that the amount of time that I invest in my publications each time, that takes me away from where I should be spending my time, especially with paid subscribers and other things. If I'm going to invest my time, I might as well try to get paid for it. So I get paid for views eventually whenever I qualify for monetization on YouTube. I'll get paid a little bit. It's nothing big, but get paid a little bit on YouTube for views. Of course, likes are appreciated on YouTube as well. But I'll get paid for views on YouTube, where I do not get paid for views on TradingView. So I believe I'm just going to post content on YouTube from now on instead of TradingView. Just giving you the heads up on that. I think that's the wise path to take as far as my time is concerned. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First, the short-term group. That would be the 30-minute, 1 hour, 90-minute, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, for those of you who are new. It was pretty obvious that we were coming down a little bit here earlier when our green RSI came down. Our red RSI broke down, crossed through the blue LSMA. That tends to be bearish, but we needed the green RSI to begin coming down to show that we were about to lose support at the white lower B band. We were about to lose support at the white lower B band. That's level 30. That's why that level 30 is white. We were about to lose support there, especially when the red RSI is on the verge of going below level 30 and the green RSI is overextending below the red RSI. The red RSI, you might as well say, is pointing out where it believes the current market value should be. The green RSI shows any overextension down below where the red RSI says current market price should be, or the green RSI might overextend up above where the red RSI says the current market price should be. Of course, it was coming down towards the orange lower B band, the green RSI did, and y'all see we hit that orange lower B band. If you're new and you're wondering, well, that doesn't tell me something, that doesn't tell me the price. Yes, it does tell you the price. If you set up the indicators the way that I point out on TradingView in my setup videos, you will see the price of the B band at that particular time. The orange lower B band. If you were going to scalp that, but the current percentage at that time, was it really worth scalping? No. Really, let me cancel that. I accidentally hit some. I did that wrong. Really, if you were going to scalp, you should have started up here in that 30-minute time frame and maybe taken 30 to 50% profit here before considering opening another short here. Of course, I get into details on that on the website, what to look for, things of that sort. When I say what to look for, knowing what to look for lets you know when to open that position. And I'm about to do my last lesson for high time frame scalping that involves where do we set our stop loss. Like when we were about to lose the white upper here, just before this, the green RSI was already coming down right here, and the red RSI is about to fall below level 70, the white upper, the next candle. It's about to fall below it, so we would want to consider opening a short there soon. But the blue LSMA was still pretty high with the B bands contracting, In that case, I would wait until that contraction completes. Let this blue LSMA come on down a little further before opening that short then, before considering opening the short. And you would also know the percentage right here. Like when I say the percentage, what is the percentage spread between the white upper and aqua upper? What's the percentage between the aqua upper and the orange upper at that time? For example, if I was to go to replay, and let's say we set replay right here. 0.6%, 0.9%, that's the 0.6% is the percentage spread between the white upper and the aqua upper. 0.9% is the percentage spread between the aqua upper and the orange upper. So right there is 1.5%. I would have felt pretty good at setting my stop loss somewhere in between the aqua and orange upper. Again, if you're saying, well, what price is that? Look to the right. Then you know what price that is, where to set your stop loss, which is key, which is very important, because you want to keep your losses small and your gains large. Using my methods, your analytics will be correct at least 80 to 85% of the time, which means about 15 to 20% of the time your stop loss may be hit, but when it's hit, you're keeping your losses small, 2%, while keeping your gains 80% of the time, 85% of the time, while keeping your gains large. So your loss is very important. The reason why these spreads are here, I normally don't like to have my stop loss more than 2%. I don't like to have it more than 2%. I just don't. If it ends up going up more than 2% from the time that I open a trade, it's either my analytics were wrong, or I entered the trade too soon, where it may have went up one last time before going down. I may have entered the trade too soon. So it's usually one of those two reasons, 15 to 20% of the time. Let me get this back. But again, yeah, if you were going to be in anything here, you should have been in a short up here much sooner. In that 8-hour time frame as well, we were about to lose support of the aqua upper, the white upper. Even in the 12-hour, red RSI is about to cross down through the blue LSMA, which tends to be bearish, especially when it does so this high. So right here, before it does that, you anticipate that. And the green RSI, it's already overextended below level 70, below the white upper B band. That will be shared on my website, even how to set up your pitchfork and all that. That will be done on the website. All right, but here, you would anticipate that I would set my stop loss based on a lower time frame, just like I was giving you. This is the 12-hour time frame, but like in the 6-hour or the 4-hour time frame, looking at the spread that you would have had at that time, you would have determined about where to set your stop loss whenever you open that trade, based off what you were already seeing in this 12-hour time frame as well. And the lower time frames in the short-term group, one right after the other. When I say one right after the other, let's go full screen with that. One right after the other, the red RSI and blue LSMA was falling below level 50, triggering downward pressure. In the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 90-minute, now this 2-hour time frame right here, you're seeing one right after the other. Even in the 3-hour, time frame here, where the red RSI was already below level 50, but the green RSI is going up. We can't get expansion down yet. The way you get expansion, you have the red RSI and the blue LSMA both going below level 50. Now we can get expansion down. And I would have felt much better about opening a short here than I would have here during this contraction. Don't feel like you have to trade all the time. Wait for a premium signal, and I get into that as far as what is considered a premium signal. There's certain other things that trigger, such as, hey, we're about to lose the white upper here, but yeah, the B bands are contracting. What if they end up expanding again like they did, but going up instead of down? In other words, what if this green RSI ended up popping up here later while the red RSI and blue SMA is still above level 50? And now we begin to get expansion up. You know, that blue LSMA was so high at the time, that would have been a high risk short there, in my opinion. I would have waited. I want that blue LSMA to come down a little bit more before I consider opening a short. In that case, right now we already see the green RSI wanting to come down here towards the aqua lower, level 10, in the 6-hour time frame. It's wanting to come down here. The red RSI is acting like it's wanting to come down here. The green RSI in the 8-hour, we see how it's already below the level 10 aqua lower, and we're right at the aqua lower B band, how it went just below it there. Yeah, I know it's currently coming up. Is it going to keep coming up? Well, I believe that's why everybody's here. That's what we're trying to determine yet. And can we even determine that yet? Do we have to wait a little bit longer for things to play out in the indicators in these lower time frames to kind of get a hold, an idea of what we may end up doing here if we're going to continue coming down further? So we're going to keep looking at other time frames, but right now we definitely see potential for it to continue coming down. But with it currently contracting at the moment, yeah, I know we had expansion down, but with it currently contracting, I'm not so sure that we're going to go down just yet. I'm not so sure just yet. Let's look at the immediate group real quick. Now it could, this is the 8-minute time frame. This may have to come up again before going down again, before having a chance of potentially seeing the red RSI and blue SMA in this 15-minute go down below level 50 to have downward pressure on a roll again, pushing us down towards this aqua diagonal trend line, somewhere around 36,500 approximately, somewhere around that range. Looking at this 12-hour, let's go full screen with that. We see the B bands acting like they were contracting, but now they're acting like they want to open up again, meaning expand again, and the price action go down with that expansion. Why down and not up? Because the red RSI and now the blue LSMA is looks like it's about to go below level 50, and we have pretty decent odds of getting expansion down, potentially coming down to this aqua lower B band, may overextend further down below the aqua lower. You see already the green RSI is screaming aqua lower, isn't it? The green RSI is already right here at level 10, aqua lower. It is screaming, saying, look man, we're at high risk, kind of high risk here, coming down here to this aqua lower that's currently at what price? 36,853. So we have to respect that. Respect what? That we still have downward pressure at the moment. You know, when this red RSI closed below level 50, that triggered downward pressure that lasts for how long? Until the white energy comes back up and closes above level 50. Well, right now it's acting like it wants to turn back down again. Will it end up being something similar like this right here before then going up? Yeah, that is possible. But when we had this right here where the white energy went sideways here for a while, what did the price action do? It came down more. We had a lot of wicks right here that was basically bull traps, these tall wicks going up, but they kept pushing it down. Then later they came up with it. So something like that is possible here. Let's keep looking at other time frames. By the way, we have 4 hours, 40 minutes remaining before we get a new 12-hour candle over here. 4 hours, 40 minutes. 4 hours, 40 minutes. This daily, this green RSI keeps coming down in this daily. If it keeps coming down in this daily towards level 10, the aqua lower, again, we're at risk of coming down to what it says is 36,265 for the 24-hour time frames, aqua lower B band. We're getting near this aqua diagonal trend line again, potentially. Red RSI appears to still be falling. The question is, will that green RSI pop back up the next daily candle that begins 16.5 hours from now? Well, we will have to watch the short-term group of time frames, 30-minute through the 8-hour, to get a determination of that. So let's do this. 1 hour. Will the red RSI in the 1 hour close above level 50 to trigger upward pressure before the white energy in this 30-minute closes below level 50 to trigger downward pressure? That's our current race that we're watching, because it has been downward pressure for quite a while in this short-term group. How do we know that? The red RSI has been below level 50 in all of these time frames. In fact, the red RSI went below level 50 even in the 12-hour and now the 24-hour. What we're wondering, the kicker is, where we're kind of at a catch-22 at the moment, is this red RSI and blue LSMA in the 2-day time frame is currently above level 50, which means right now it's actually easier to get expansion up in the 2-day time frame than it is expansion down. It is currently easier to get expansion up than it is expansion down right now. How so? Well, number one, the red RSI and blue SMA are above level 50. Just like when they got above level 50 here, we got expansion of the B bands, expanding right here, opening up, and the price action went up with that expansion. There's also other rules that I get into on the website, how you know if you're in a long position, if your target's going to be the B band basis or the white aqua upper B bands. If you're in a short position, is your target going to be the B band basis or the white aqua lower B bands? Could you get expansion of those B bands to keep that position open, or take partial profit while letting the remainder ride, the remaining that you left open with that margin long or margin short? I get into details on that on the website. Also letting you know, like if you're high time frame scalping using the short term group, note you did not hear me say low time frame scalping using the immediate group, which is 5 second, 15 second, 30 second, 1 minute, 2 minute, 4 minute, 8 minute, 16 minute, 15 minute. No, not using that's called low time frame scalping. If you're using the immediate group and using certain time frames in the short-term group to determine your trend, so that whenever you scalp, low time frame scalp in this immediate group, you make sure that you only open a long when it's bullish in the short-term group, or you only open a short when it's bearish in the short-term group. Well, for high time frame scalping, where we're using the short-term group, certain time frames within this group at certain times based on certain criteria, whenever you get ready to open a short or a long in this short-term group, based on certain things that I teach on the website regarding the short-term group, when you get ready to open a short or a long, make sure, if you're opening a short, well, make sure that you have downward pressure ruling at that particular time that you want to open that short. If upward pressure is ruling the time, when you're looking to open a short, do not trade against the trend. If you want to be consistent, you will be more consistent if you will trade with the trend. Be patient Wait. Trade with the trend. Make sure that trend is established. So that whenever you open that scalp, you're trading with the trend, not against it. So when we use the short-term group to determine when to actually open that trade, make sure when you do open that trade is not against the trend that you see in this near-term group if you want to be consistent instead of becoming a statistic. I'd rather you be consistent than becoming a statistic. Yeah, it's really that 2-day that concerns me at the moment, because again, it's much easier to get expansion up than it is expansion down. It would take a little while for this green RSI in the 2-day. Let me go full screen with it again. It will take a little time in this 2-day time frame, meaning each candle is a period of 2 days, 48 hours. So it will take a little time for this red RSI to roll over and fall down below level 50 if we're going to get expansion down in this 2-day time frame. So it's much easier to get expansion up, just like how we rolled over here. It took a little time for that red RSI to get down, but I get into other details here too on our target. Well, I would have already known my target was the white aqua upper B bands when I opened a long back here. Meaning knowing when to take profit or partial profit while letting the remainder ride. Because sometimes you don't know that your target is the white lower B band or the basis or the white aqua upper B bands until later, after you open this here, say, well, right now my target is the white lower B band. We end up going and you may have taken profit even on this move up. When it started coming back down, we went within proximity of the white lower B band and you closed your trade entirely, waiting for it to come back down and say, hey, it looks like we're potentially going back up again, but you may not open your trade until around here, where it would have been obvious based on my rules and requirements for those rules, it would have been obvious to you that your next target would be the white aqua upper B bands, meaning the probability of us blasting through that B band basis, the 20 moving average, and running up to the white aqua upper B bands was quite high based on the rules and requirements for those rules for what we were seeing within Phoenix Ascending Indicator at that particular time. And by the way, I am not going to be about hype on my channel. I am not going to be about hype. I'm all business. I'm serious, because I'm serious about what I do, and I just think that's the way to be. Yeah, there were times back in the past, years ago, I used to create hype titles and all for entertainment and stuff, but then I've just gotten to the point where there's no point in that. Let's just be serious. Just be all business. Now, there's nothing wrong with joking, things of that sort, having some humor here and there at times, but I'm not going to create titles and stuff that are kind of hype-ish, so to speak. I'm not going to do that. But see, this 3-day time frame, if this green RSI keeps coming down, we have 16 and a half hours remaining till the next 3-day candle. We have 16 and a half hours remaining till the next 2-day candle, and the next 1-day candle, and the next 6-day candle. So we'll have 4 new time frames there where we will get updated indicators. And see, I'm wondering if this green RSI ends up coming back up in the 2-day time frame, and we end up holding support around this white, somewhere within this white aqua lower B band in the 2-day before going up, and may end up where the white lower B band holds support. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying the white lower B band in the 2-day for now might be our current support? Because note where the red RSI is. Remember, I told you the red RSI is the Phoenix Ascending Indicator's way of saying, the red RSI, its way of saying this: the current price, or let's say the current market price that it says is the current market value, so to speak, on this particular candle in this time frame, that price is right just above level 50, which is right just above the basis. That's what it's saying. So right now we are overextended. The green RSI is overextended down. Overextended down. Where? Level 40, by the way, that color is white yellow. I hope y'all can see that, but it's white yellow. Level 40. You see there's two level 40s, white and yellow. One is a dashed line, one is a solid line. The dashed line is on top of the solid line so that it looks white yellow. If I had the white solid line on top of the yellow dashed line, you'd still just see white and no yellow at all. But yeah, right now we are currently overextended down just a little bit. Just a little bit. So will we go much further down below the white lower B band during the remaining 16 and a half hours of this candle? May not. That current white lower B band is 37,743. That's the current price of that white lower B band, somewhere within proximity of that white lower B band. Right now we're currently overextended down. That red RSI has to catch up with the white lower. It needs to be down here near the white lower, level 30, in order to substantiate that, yes, the current fair market value on this particular candle in this particular time frame is right around the white lower B band. See, the red RSI is not even down there yet to substantiate that. So don't assume we're going to keep going down right now. We still need more time for this to play out, to figure this out. Are we going to continue coming down? Because again, I'm telling you, with that red RSI and blue SMA above level 50, it is currently easier to get expansion up than it is to get expansion down at the moment. Because all it takes, since the red RSI and blue SMA are above level 50, all it takes is the green RSI coming back up above level 50, and that price action can shoot right back up. If the green RSI came up here to level 70, the white upper, we could see the price action right up here near the white upper B band again, near 43,000, near this red diagonal trend line. That could potentially happen. It's just right now, when we're in a period of indecision, we need a little bit more time to play out in this short-term group to get an idea if we're going to keep going down. Don't chase a trade either. Please don't chase a trade. If you missed a trade, if you missed this earlier, opening a short here earlier, don't chase a trade. Be patient and wait, please. Be patient and wait. There's always an opportunity for another trade, especially for you margin scalpers. Especially for you margin scalpers. And of course, the next lesson that I'm going to create, which will be the last lesson I create for high time frame scalping, will cover risk management, money management, and where do we set our stop loss. And I will break it down as far as different scenarios of leverage versus how much of your capital you put in that trade, at what leverage. I'm going to put out a bunch of different scenarios to hopefully maybe convince you of what I consider the sweet spot as far as what amount of capital that you put forth in your margin position and at what leverage. What's the sweet spot? And you will understand that if you're a premium subscriber and you watch that lesson whenever it's completed. Right now we're wondering if this comes back down again, and it looks like, you see how this white energy in the 30-minute is already below level 30, the red RSI in the 1 hour, 60-minute, it's not above level 50. At the moment that white energy turns down in that 1 hour, the price action is coming down. Why? Because that red RSI is not above level 50. That's why. Let me show a good example. You like it when the red RSI closes above level 50 and this energy is quite high. Why do you like that particular scenario? Because you know, now you would have known based on other things that I'm not getting into here. You can find out on the website. I don't intend that to be taken as being rude to you. It's just I've spent thousands of hours developing these indicators, creating rules for these indicators, requirements for those rules and whatnot. But again, you would like it when the red RSI closes above level 50 with the energy high. Why? Because you know that upward pressure continues. That triggers upward pressure when that occurs. And that upward pressure continues for how long? Until that white energy comes back down to level 50. Until that white energy comes back down to level 50. So you know if that energy is high when that red RSI crosses above level 50, the odds are quite high that you're going to have upward pressure there for quite a while. This is the 1 hour time frame. What if this occurred in the 12-hour time frame? And you have a lot of 12-hour candles of upward pressure until the white energy comes back down to level 50. But you're also paying attention to pressure races to see if that upward pressure can even continue things. But if you're high time frame scalping, I would prefer you go ahead and take profit. Like right in here, I would have preferred you go ahead and take profit. BTC USD is not the only pair that you have to trade on. It is not the only pair that you have to trade on. I have 23 pairs, 23 different assets with some of them four groups of time frames with 8 time frames within each group, so 32 time frames for each asset at a minimum on all 23 pair in here. Some Forex pairs, one stock pair, one index pair, the S&P 500. All the rest are crypto. But with these, I'm able to see. Uh-oh. Let me get back over here. Tab. For instance, like right here, I'm going to click replay. Actually, I should have clicked back further. I tell you what, let me do this. This would be a much better example. Pardon the delay here. And let's go to a higher time frame. Let's make it the 4 hour time frame. And let's do replay right here. As you can see, I can see 11.7% spread between the white upper and the white lower B band. Let's just round that off to 12%, to the highest number. If it was 11.6, I round off to the highest, 12%. If it was 11.5 or less, I would say 11%, just for easy math. All right, that's for Bitcoin USD. Well, what about these other pairs, these other altcoins that I have in here? I can see the spread percentage in the 4 hour time frame for all these others that I'm getting ready to short. Uh-oh, y'all can't see that? Let me get to this. My bad. Again, it's been a while since I've streamed, so pardon that. I can see 11.7% spread between the white upper and white lower. Round this up to 12% is what I would have done for easy math. But I can also see the percentage spread between the white upper and white lower on all these other altcoins in here that I have up on my TVs. Why am I saying that? What advantage do I have in that? Well, if I'm about to risk some money on a leveraged trade, on a margin trade, excuse me, I want as much reward as possible for the risk I am about to take. Well, what if, let's say, like for Luna USD, what did it have there in the 4-hour time frame? Oh, that's an immediate group. Let me get the short-term group. Just a moment. I'm looking on my other TVs at the moment. Luna was a bit different there. It was about ready to get expansion down. So that would have been a different scenario. Where Bitcoin there, where Bitcoin there, it was already wide and getting to contract. Luna was different. It was contracted and getting ready to expand, open up with expansion down. But that really wasn't a good place to shoot. Really, Luna has been on a bull run for quite a while, kind of totally different from all these other altcoins like Litecoin, Ethereum. Like Ethereum right here, its percentage would have been pretty wide as well in the 4-hour time frame. Let me go and pull up Ethereum. Will it not let me do that on replay? Nope. So let's do this. It won't let me do that on replay. Let's click on another chart so I can do that. Let's click on this chart. Now, well, let me do it. And let's go to near. Oop, I don't want near term. I want short term group. Let's go to 4-hour time frame, March 2nd, 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's right in here, March 2nd. All right, you see the percentage here, 9.2%. All right, based on my sweet spot, so to speak, based on my sweet spot that I will be covering on my risk management, money management, where do I set my stop loss lesson? That's the last lesson for high time frame scalping. Based on my sweet spot for leverage, based on the amount of total capital you have on that exchange for that pair, well, I shouldn't say for that pair, that the total amount of capital you have on that exchange, based on the sweet spot as far as what percentage of that capital am I going to risk in a trade, a margin trade, a leveraged trade for this pair. I've got it done where, or created where the amount of capital you're going to use with that trade will be 90% of your total capital. What I would want people to do is 90% of that total capital. Once you determine what 90% of that total capital is, you would then divide that 90% by 4 quarters. That 90% of your total capital, divided up by 4. Let's say if your total capital was $5,000 on the exchange, and 90% of that is 4,500. Now divide 4,500 by 4. That would be $1,125. $1,125. Now, in this position, whether it be a margin short or margin long, I want you to do 4x leverage. 4x leverage of this $1,125, which is to say 4x of 1,125 is $4,500. But only 1,125 of that is your actual skin in the game. the remainder of that, the difference of that, to make it where you actually have 4,500 in that position, not 1,125, that remainder or that difference you borrowed, and you're paying interest on that. It's not very high interest, y'all. It ends up being about 1% or less majority of the time with your fees and whatnot, depending on the exchange that you're on. But some of you may be wondering, well, why not just divide 5,000 by 5 and do it different? No, I explained in the lesson why. No, there's a sweet spot where I never really want to risk more than my total capital. Well, if my total capital is 5,000, maybe you're thinking, well, that means when you do a leveraged trade, you should do it at 1,250, which would be 5,000 divided by 4, 1,250. Then if you did 4x leverage, that would be a 5,000 position. But I don't want you to do that. Why? Because when you set your stop loss at 2%, do not assume that if you are stopped out 15 to 20% of the time, do not assume that if you get stopped out, that the price, the market price at which your position is then sold, if there's not enough buyers there for when that position is sold because your stop loss was triggered, it's actually going to be a little bit more than 2%. If you set your stop loss at 2% of your price for that margin long or margin short, if you set your stop loss at 2%, if there's not enough orders there to swallow that stop loss that was triggered, you may end up being 2.2%, 2.4%, heck, may even be 3%. But if your position was 90% of your total capital instead of 100% of your total capital, that's where I'm making up. I explain it better in the lesson, but that's where I'm making it up, where if your position is 4,500, 2% of 4,500 is $90. Where if you did your total capital 5,000, 2% of 5,000 is $100. That's a little bit more. So that's why 90% of my total capital, divide that by 4, and then when you open that position, whatever number you came up with, when you divided it by 4, I want you to do that number, that amount. This is my opinion. This is not financial advice. But you would want to do that number at a 4x leverage position. That way you still have in the bet, in the trade, in the position, pretty close to the amount of capital that you have, but at less than have less than 25% of your capital is actual skin in the game. Yes, you're borrowing the rest, but you're protecting yourself with a stop loss. Also, by doing just a little less in the position, 4,500 instead of 5,000. In other words, my stop loss is basically at 2% of 4,500, not 2% of 5,000. I know just from experience, there's going to be times where there's not enough orders in there to actually fill your stop loss. If it's triggered 15 to 20% of the time, there's not going to be enough orders there at times, depending on the amount of capital that you have, how much was in the trade, things of that sort. Some, it would be probably 2% almost every time because they just don't have a lot in the trade. You'll understand that better if you get into the lessons. But the reason that I do that, like for 5,000 example, 1,125, that was 1/4 of 90% of my capital. Well, I have 3 more 4s. I have 3 more 1,125 that I can do at 4x. Well, if I have 23 pair in here, and I'm able to see the percentage spread between the white upper and the white lower B band, if I'm able to see the percentage spread, and I can tell by the indicators if we're just going to take profit at the basis, or are we going to take, when I say take profit at the basis, that means 100%. Or am I going to take 50% profit at the basis while letting the other 50% ride because I saw other things occur, requirements met within the indicators that suggest very high odds of coming down to the white aqua lower B band, things of that sort. But the signals that I will provide will be only for those where the spread between the white upper and white lower B bands is higher than others. So even though I may have 23 assets up here on my charts, I'm not providing more than 4 signals at any given time. When I say signals, I'm talking about for a high time frame scalping. I'm not talking about for swing trading. Swing trades are based on execution of that swing trade in the near term group while paying attention to your trend that's established in the mid-term group. High time frame scalping, you're using the short-term group for actual executions of those trades that you make sure are in collocation, in harmony with the trend that's established in the near-term group. I get into that more in detail later on, but that's the reason whenever I say sweet spot, this is me, my opinion, how I trade. I want to try to take advantage of as much of my capital as possible while also as little risk as possible. And do so by giving myself the opportunity to trade as many pairs as possible without over trading. 4's the limit. Don't overtrade. That's my opinion. But 4 is the limit. So like whenever I begin providing signals on my platform, there won't ever be more than 4 high time frame scalp signals at any given time, and those signals will be provided. Litecoin's going down. Let me tend to that alarm for Litecoin real quick. And I just recently adjusted that. Where did I put Litecoin? Where are you? I have to put my tags up here because I just put all these up here. Where did I put you, Litecoin? Where did I put you? Link, algo, near, crow, atom, uni, menu, Luna. Now I'm beginning to wonder even if I have Litecoin up there, and it does not appear I do. I'm glad that occurred because I definitely need to get Litecoin as one of my 23, so that means I'm going to have to take one of those off. So let me go ahead and change that. And y'all pardon me just a moment. Pardon this delay for just a moment. Let me pull up Safari. Gemini. I'm selling some Litecoin where I had a payment for a subscription that just made it to the exchange. They probably paid when it was like 102, 103. Now it's 98. I should have already sold a while back at 100%. And I'm going to go and sell it at market. Let's sell. All right. Again, pardon that delay there. I realized that I needed to go ahead and sell that Litecoin that I was paid for a subscription payment. Yeah, I'm reading the chat. My apologies for not having that chart up. Mr. knows in the premium live streams that I do at times, I'm bad about doing that at times. I forget that I don't have the chart up. All right, let's get rid of Litecoin for a moment. This is just going to be a Bitcoin analysis. I said I was not going to get into other pairs, and I'm not. This is our immediate group. Let's get rid of Ethereum. I'm waiting for that notification to pop up to see what it's a notification of. Come on now, pop up. Huh. I'm not going to wait on it. Yeah, that definitely could end up still coming down more. Earlier in a private publication that I did post publicly on Twitter, I was saying it's looking like we could come on down to this aquadiagonal trend line. I was expecting a pause, a delay here, right at around 38,000 when we were coming down from here. I was expecting that. I've had that line, that dotted blue line there for quite a while. But I was also pointing out that it's quite possible we come on down to this aquadiagonal trend line. Somewhere between 36,450, let's say, and 37,000, we could definitely come down to that again. And could potentially fall further. Let's have a look at higher time frames to see the potential for that. This is the near term group. I'm back in the near term group, by the way. I've already mentioned how in the 2-day time frame it may take a little while for this red RSI to roll over and fall below level 50. Kind of something like this right here, to roll over level 50. You know, if we end up doing something like that. That bull trap first before going down. But in our case, the blue LSMA is above level 50, not below level 50 like we were here. And the red RSI crossed above level 50 while the white energy had already come down to about right here. So the white energy went up real high, but the red RSI couldn't get up there early with it to help upward pressure continue even while the white energy was falling. This one was much better, as y'all can see. The red RSI closes above level 50. The white energy's not even thinking about turning down yet. It's still climbing before then finally coming down. You know, you like for the red RSI on a long, you like for the red RSI to close above level 50 while that white energy is still going up. Does that mean that's where you enter the trade? No. There's other things rules that I go by where you can enter it sooner and in using lower time frames. the red RSI in the 4-day, just below the white lower. So the price action's currently extended below where the green RSI and the red RSI says it should be. The blue LSMA is showing potential support just below the white lower, just below level 30, just below the white lower. But man, it's possible for this to keep going down in the 4-day. We have 2 days, 17 hours, not 2 days, 16 hours remaining in the current 4-day candle. If we came down to the aqua lower, that's right here, level 10. So if the price action went down to the aqua lower, especially this candle with 2 days, 17 hours remaining, we are overextended down because the red RSI is not down here and the green RSI is not even down there. If we went down there this candle, we're overextended down, expect it to pop back up rather quickly to get back in line with where the red RSI and green RSI says the price action should be. So keep that in mind whenever you look in these higher time frames, like in this 4-day time frame. Look for things like that, for overextension down or for overextension up. Just like here, the green RSI came up to the white upper, level 70, white upper, but that price action didn't go up to the white upper. Didn't make it. The red RSI was way down here. Plus there was other things here where, number one, in the midterm group of time frames, I know we're in a downtrend. So if I do a swing trade here, each candle being a period of 4 days, each candle being a period of 4 days, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so about 20 days in that swing trade there, I would have known from the midterm group downtrend, but we could be leveling out based on other things that I'm seeing here. But based on other things I'm seeing here, my target is the basis. I'm going to prepare to take profit at the basis if I don't see something else happen in these indicators. And that something else didn't happen, I know to close the trade there. We're done there. To close that long there, we're done with that long. Now let's open a short. Could we be sideways in accumulation after this distribution? Was this a selling climax? Automatic rally, second test of support, simple rally, test of support. We don't know yet. We need to see if we have an actual test of support again right here, or do we continue down further? Because if we continue down further, that means we're still in distribution. Well, let's look at other time frames to see the odds of us potentially still being in distribution. The weekly, that blue LSMA and the weekly, and the 6-day, that's good that the blue LSMA is getting above level 20. The 5-day blue LSMA is not above level 20. The red RSI is acting like it's wanting to come down. Let me go full screen with that so you can see it a little easier. Red RSI going, this is level 40, white yellow, which means price action between the yellow B-band basis, and the white lower. Well, actually the price action is currently below the white lower. Yet the green, that green RSI, it might potentially come down sometime during this remaining 4 days and 16 hours. That or the price action comes back up to get in line with where it says it should be, this current 5-day candle that has 4 days, 16 hours remaining. Right now that red RSI is saying the price action should be, the market value for this current candle is somewhere between the basis and the white lower. But right now the price action is below the white lower. So right now we are overextended down. That doesn't mean this candle has to close overextended down. It may end up closing in between where the basis and the white lower is, halfway in between there, where the red RSI is currently. But that blue LSMA down here, that's showing, hey, we could come down here and may find support around the aqua. When I say may find support, that means the candle closes around there, not wicks there. It closes somewhere within proximity to it. We came down towards the orange lower. Here the price action was overextended down towards the towards the orange lower B band. You see how the price action came down towards the orange lower, and the green RSI at that time was nowhere near the orange lower B band, level 0, and the red RSI was nowhere near the orange lower B band, level 0. The price action came down like that. Also using your pitchfork, your diagonal trend lines, to know that, hey, looks like we came off this one, bounced off that one, and we're falling down here to this next diagonal trend line. I'm going to be prepared to spread some buy orders in somewhere around in here, just above that, not just below it, not right on it, but just above it. I usually like to do that to be on the safe side, to make sure my orders get filled, so that if we get overextended down to the orange lower B band, I'm prepared, ready, because especially the red RSI being up here above aqua, this aqua lower, not the aqua upper, that's level 90, the aqua lower, level 10, especially with the red RSI above the aqua upper, I know the price action should really get on up here. It did the next candle where the price action closed above the aqua. I said aqua upper. I said that was aqua upper. The red RSI is just above the aqua lower B band, just above it. So the price action closed just above the aqua upper B band. If the green RSI ends up going up higher, of course we can go higher, but based on certain other things that I know within the indicators, I know the target for the next move up would be within proximity of the basis. I wouldn't just use this 5-day time frame to determine that, because actually the 4-day time frame we hit the basis right like a nail, like a bullseye on a target in the 4-day time frame right there, top left hand corner. I just took us to the 5-day time frame just then. But yeah, right now we're currently overextended down. At the beginning of this 5-day candle, we get a new 6-day in approximately 16 hours. It's just too hard to say right there yet if we're going to keep coming down. In looking at this near-term group, it's just too hard to say just yet if we're going to keep coming down in the short-term group. Let's look at the mid-term group for a moment. I don't see us going up from the white lower B band to the basis yet in the 11-day time frame. Let me get rid of my drawings. Red RSI is just below the level 30, just below the white lower B band. The price action is currently just below the white lower B band. That green RSI was trying to get us near the basis, and y'all see we did wick up there, but that red RSI is saying the current market value on this candle is just below the white lower B band. Basically 16 hours remaining in this 11-day candle, so we get a new 11-day candle. You're saying, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Because don't we need that red RSI to go above level 30 if we want to have a chance of going up from the white lower towards the basis, and it not come back down to that white lower, but go ahead and move on up from that white lower to the basis and close around the basis, because the green RSI is already heading near level 50, which is synonymous with the B band basis. But we need that red RSI to get above this white lower, level 30, if we want the price action to go up from that white lower to the basis. I believe that makes sense to y'all. And I also know, based on other things that I'm seeing, we have a very good chance of going up to the white aqua upper B bands, providing we have upward pressure in the higher time frames. If we have downward pressure in the higher time frames, that's established a downward trend, then no, I would not say the white aqua upper B bands would be our target. I would not say that yet. Just the basis. If we're still experiencing downward pressure in higher time frames that are higher than this 11-day time frame, such as the 22-day time frame. Let's see. Here's the 11-day. Here's the 11-day where we're waiting on that red RSI to get above level 30 here to have a chance of going up from the white lower to the basis. The 22-day time frame, look at the green RSI turning down. That's double the 11-day, 22-day. The red RSI and blue SMA are about to get below level 50. And we get a new 22-day in approximately 16 hours. Cool. So we'll get some more information there too, when that new candle begins. Okay, so there's a chance that red RSI comes on down here near that white lower, level 30. The green RSI, if it continues overextending down, we could come down at least to the aqua lower around 31,125. We could wick below 31,125. We could wick down to like 30,000. That's still some time. That's a 22-day candle though, and I'm talking about the next 22-day candle that begins in approximately 16 hours. See, same thing in the 26-day. If we want to go down below that white lower B band in the 26-day, we're acting like we're trying to go down below level 50, the basis. You see how the price action is wanting to currently come back up above the basis? Because right now, the red RSI is saying the fair market value on this current 27-day candle is right at the basis. And the price action right now, before this candle closes, 15 days, 16 hours from now, it's trying to get back up to that basis around 41,475. But I don't know that it's going to make it. If we're still trending down, if we have downward pressure in these higher time frames, well, that's why I'm looking at these higher time frames. Because this red RSI is about to potentially close below level 50. Right now it's at 49.9. It's about to potentially close below level 50, just like we did here, triggering downward pressure that lasts for how long? Until the white energy comes back up above level 50. Till the white energy comes back up above level 50. We still have a while yet for that white energy to get above level 50 in this 27-day time frame. In case you're wondering why I have these boxes here in the 27-day time frame, it's quite common in each distribution period for candles to close within this white aqua lower B band. White aqua lower B band. The COVID dump, we wicked down inside the white aqua lower B band. And that's why this box is here, because I'm wondering if eventually we come down inside this white aqua lower B band, somewhere inside. I may need to move that up a little bit. But I'm wondering if we may come somewhere inside that white aqua lower B band eventually over time. But it may take another 27-day candle, may take another 27-day candle after that for us to do that. Not quite sure yet. Like here, we hung out at the basis for quite a while. Even though the red RSI went below level 50, we just had a hard time getting down below the basis, down towards the white aqua lower. The green RSI didn't even want to come down towards the white aqua lower. It wasn't until the blue LSMA also got below level 50 where then we went below or left down from the basis, the dotted B-band basis. When the blue LSMA went below level 50, then we started going down towards the white aqua lower. So we might have to wait until that blue LSMA makes it down to level 50 in this 27-day time frame before potentially falling down into the white aqua lower B bands that are currently rising. They're currently rising. They're not falling. So the price action keeps getting higher and higher for the white. Right now the white lowers, might as well say 30,000. $29,996. The aqua lower is $22,905. But the next candle, that aqua lower may be around $26,500. The next candle after that, it may be right at $30,000. And it may not be until the next candle after that where the blue OSMA goes below level 50. You know, we'll have to wait and see there. A lot can happen inside a 27-day candle. A period of 27 days, a lot can happen. Let me turn that volume down. My bad. Appreciate the likes, whoever that was liking. This is my macro group. I also have a super macro group, which is the 2-week, 3-week, 4-week, 5-week, 6-week, 8-week, 10-week, 12-week. Blue OSMA is still up pretty high. Red RSI acts like it's wanting to fall below 20 days, 16 hours. Green RSI overextended down below the white lower. The red RSI, the next 10-week candle might go below. I said white lower. I meant to say white upper, y'all. Green RSI is overextended down below the white upper B band in that 10-week time frame. I tell you what, it would have been easier. No, it's not easier. So let me do that. Green RSI overextended down below the white upper B band, because the red RSI is saying current market value. This candle basically is saying resistance is right here, because if the price action came up, resistance is right here. Could we potentially overextend above that resistance but then end up closing at that resistance? Yeah, that's possible. The next candle, that's possible. But right now, let that red RSI keep falling down the next candle that begins in 6 days, 16 hours, and that green RSI continues overextending down. You know, we could get even closer to the B-band basis around 25,500. That's about where the B-band basis would be the next 10-week candle. 10-week, a period of 10 weeks. You know, we still have a chance for that to occur. That's screaming that we could potentially go down to the B-band basis in the 8-week if you really look at it. So again, we have to conclude right now, ladies and gentlemen, over the next 1 month, 18 days, in this time frame, that we are still at risk of falling down towards the basis around 26,943. Because this is screaming for us to come down potentially to the basis. Most certainly. Uh-oh, I did not mean to do that. Why did I do that? I need to click that one. Six-week white lower. No. Even though the green RSI is overextended down below that, the red RSI is not down there to support us going down below that basis to the white lower. It's hard for us to go down below this basis and remain below that basis to go down to the white lower if that red RSI is not below the level 50, which is synonymous with the yellow basis. It might end up bouncing off of that and coming back up, and the green RSI come up, the red RSI, blue LSMA make contact with the green RSI that's going up, and here we are off to the races again. You know, that's possible, but that's in a time frame where each candle is a period of 6 weeks. Each candle a period of 6 weeks. We still have 20 days, 16 hours remaining in the current 6-week candle. You know, so looking at this high of a time frame, that's going to take a little while to play out. Let's go to the long-term group. We were looking at the super macro and macro. Now we're looking at long-term before getting into mid-term and working our way back down towards the short-term group again. I know this video is long. I'm currently doing a live stream. Is that you, David? Yeah, it's fine to come in, but let Daddy talk, okay? In this long-term group, that red RSI, blue LSMA, and that 16-day need to get on up above level 30, the white lower. They need to get on up above level 30, this white lower. If we're to go up from that white lower to the basis, right now we're falling down towards the white lower. Actually, the red RSI is saying we should be a little bit below the white lower, but it's the green RSI that's overextending up above the red RSI right now that may put a stop to it right at the white lower at $36,000. Don't assume this energy is going to keep going up, y'all. That energy can turn right back down. Most certainly can. That's kind of an example of what I'm getting at. Here it was coming up and then turned down. Here it was coming up and then turned down. Don't assume that it's just going to keep going up and up and up, that white energy. Do not assume that. If you're just looking at one single time frame, do not do that. So in 2 days, 16 hours, we get a new 17-day candle where we want to see if the red RSI and blue LSMA in this 17-day candle is going to begin to make the turn up above level 30, up above the white lower, to have a chance of going up from that white lower to the basis. Like here, red RSI closed above level 50. Excuse me, above level 30. Above level 30, the white lower. And here we go up from the white lower towards the basis, kind of held out there for a minute at the basis, but then continued up towards the white aqua upper B bands. Yeah, all of these they're right at the white lower. Especially this 8-day, it's kind of a mixed signal. The red RSI is going up, the blue LSMA is going down, but the green RSI is coming down. Will the red RSI roll over and come down? That's the 8-day time frame right here. I'm in the midterm group now. Because this could potentially come down towards the aqua lower. That's at 33,466. Not this candle. We have 6 days, 16 hours. If we do that, this candle, we're overextended down. If we do that, this candle, if we go down to 33,460, we're overextended down because the red RSI is not down there to keep us down there. That would end up being the green RSI overextended down, and it would take a while for the red RSI to roll over and come down to say, yeah, I'm saying your fair market value should be down here. And if that red RSI is not down here and that price action came down there towards the aqua lower and the green RSI and the red RSI is not even down there, expect it to pop right back up pretty quick. Somewhere within that 6 days and 16 hours, if we came down to that aqua lower at 33,467, that may be like a falling knife, expected to come right back up pretty quick because the red RSI is not down here to keep the price action down here. Again, I'm telling y'all these things. I know this is a long video, and I'm going to get back to my business taxes shortly. I know this is a long video, but I normally like to teach a little bit, and I'm marketing a little bit to let you know of some things in store for WyckoffMode.com, especially when we go live with trading signals. Swing signals when I'm awake or asleep. High time frame scalping signals only when I'm awake. If I set alarms for high time frame scalps using the short term group, I would never get sleep, especially with alarms on 23 asset. No, I'm not going to even attempt that, because it's just me. It's nobody else working with me or multiple people with me in shifts and all that. I hope to eventually get to that point. It's just going to take time to get other people trained up and on board with me. Let's go to the short-term group, y'all. All right, now it looks like, remember where I was telling you about that white energy closing below level 50 in the 30-minute before the red RSI in the 1 hour can close above level 50 to trigger upward pressure, downward pressure 1, and to confirm that, look in your lower time frames. This immediate group are the red RSI and blue LSMA below level 50 in this 2-minute, 4-minute, 8-minute, and 15-minute. They were in the 2, 4, and 8. Are they in the 15? They're about to be. Red RSI and blue SMA about to be below level 50. So yeah, it's looking like downward pressure is resuming once again. This was just a stair step before potentially falling down even more again towards this aqua diagonal trend line around 35,000. 35,500, 35,000 to 35,500. That would require more expansion down here, and that green RSI turned down towards this orange level 0 to come down to the orange lower B band, maybe even overextend below the orange lower B band to this aqua diagonal trend line around 35,350, somewhere between 35,000 and 35,500. That is certainly still possible, y'all. That is certainly still possible. We see that even in the 8 hour. So if you had opened a short up here a long time ago, multiple 8 hour candles ago, you may have took 30% profit at the basis and let the rest ride. You took another 30% profit here, let the rest ride. And that rest that's riding is still going down here. And you may be prepared to close it somewhere around this diagonal trend line if possible. But you're also watching where if it comes back up, which is why I like a trailing stop. Bybit has a trailing stop. Binance, no. Any other margin exchanges, I'm not sure. But I know Bybit has a trailing stop. That's why I like a trailing stop. So like if you're in a short and it's going down, and if it comes up a certain amount, a certain dollar amount that you did the math on for a certain percentage, but if it comes up a certain dollar amount that met your certain percentage, then you want to go and close a trade altogether to seal in profits. Yeah, this looks like this may just potentially still be a slow bleed down. A slow bleed down towards that aqua diagonal trend line. as far as low, medium, or high risk, I'd say it's about medium. But again, I would have preferred you been in a short from up here. Based on multiple time frames. We would have been in a short up here where it was going down. We're about to lose the aqua upper B band. The green RSI was already overextending below the white upper B band right there, so we were about to lose the white upper and fall on the red RSI. The green RSI was kind of getting ahead of it, and it took a while for the red RSI to catch up with where the green RSI was overextended to, down here at the white aqua lower. Again, please don't feel like you have to always be in a trade. If you miss that from up there, don't feel like, just don't let the emotion of greed get you involved into a trade that you should have been in sooner. That's my opinion. That's a rule that I've placed on myself. Like, I missed Luna. I haven't been trading for quite a while. I've been focusing on educational content and taxes here lately. But yeah, it made me sick watching Luna go up and all, knowing that I would have had alarms and all, and been prepared. If I get involved in one trade, it's hard for me to concentrate on creating educational content and to do my taxes, because I'd always be wanting to have a look at that trade. And that's why I haven't been trading here lately. I think we're going to call that quits. on this, because I believe we're still experiencing downward pressure here for a while, with the red RSI and blue SMA all below level 50 once again in this short-term group. The red RSI in this 24-hour time frame just went below level 50, triggering downward pressure that lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes back up to level 50. So we're still in downward pressure, and this green RSI is approaching the aqua lower, level 10, meaning we're at risk of hitting this aqua lower B band that's currently at 36,217, but we might wick down to or a little below this aqua diagonal trend line. This is just to give you a proximity target, not exact target with exact dollar amount thing, but this is about as close to a crystal ball as you will get, in my opinion, if you know what you're doing with the indicators. But it's also key to have rules set in place, that you're never chasing a trade. If you missed it, just get over it. Wait. There's many other pairs that you can monitor and be patient and wait for the premium signal to get in on it at the right time to increase your reward potential for the risk you are going to take. I want as much reward potential as possible in my trade before I begin considering taking a risk. So meaning you want as high, the best a risk-reward ratio as possible. If most of your reward you really don't know. This could be 75% of the remaining 25% of that reward. I'm not saying it's dropping 25%. I'm just saying if this was what it was doing, dropping from here down to this aqua diagonal trend line before going up, well, you've already missed about 75% of this potential reward, with only about 25% potentially remaining. But not saying that's a 25% drop from there to here. That's really only about a 4% drop, as you can see by that 3.8% right there. I don't chase trades. If I missed it, forget about it. Get over it. Wait on another one. That's a rule that I learned from experience to stick by. I don't want to chase a trade, or FOMO, so to speak. I learned don't do that. Just be patient and wait. There's plenty of other pairs to look at, to trade on. It could be a Forex pair. It could be an index. It doesn't have to be a crypto. All right. So y'all see that we are still experiencing downward pressure even in this daily time frame, but that 2-day suggests that if we came down to this aquadiagonal trend line, that red RSI is nowhere near down here at the aqua lower, is it? So if the price action comes down to the aqua lower and that red RSI is not down here, I would expect it to pop right back up pretty quick, y'all, if we went down there, because that red RSI is not down there to keep it held down there and potentially keep falling further. That's just not there. All right, so keep that in mind, that if we do come down to this aquadiagonal trend line, I don't think we're going to be there very long. I think it may either just trade sideways along it before then falling down, or we may eventually just bam, if we do come down there, bam, come right back up. Based on what we're seeing in the 2-day and the 3-day even. You know, the red RSI needs to get on down here towards the aqua lower. If we come down to that aqua lower B band in the 3-day, that red RSI needs to come on down there to the aqua lower if we're to stay at the aqua lower or keep falling further. You know, sometimes the green RSI does overextend and it takes time for the red RSI to catch up. As in here, we went down to the white aqua lower, the green RSI overextended down to the white aqua lower. But note how the price action came right back up again. And it went to the white aqua upper. Now there's things that I get into in lessons, especially in the high time frame scalping lessons, how you would have known the odds were actually quite high of going back up to the white aqua upper if you did a short and then a long. Because again, right now it looks as if we're leveled out potentially in accumulation. You know, after first having distribution, we could be sideways in accumulation before going up again. You know, that is possible. But let's not make that a flat statement and say that is in fact what we're doing. We don't know that yet. Let's see if we come down, does it come back up a little bit before then falling down further? You know, we don't know if we're sideways in accumulation yet. We won't know that until we go on up and then see a sign of strength. Then we could say, yep, that was accumulation. But we would use our indicators, especially if you're swing trading or high time frame scalping, to long that, to short this, to long that, to short this. Dollar cost average in, if you're buying outright and selling outright, that type of trading, if we've already dropped more than 50% from our all-time high of 69,000 down here to 33,000, you know, we've already dropped more than 50%, especially in a backup last point of support event in long-term accumulation. I would consider accumulating, dollar cost averaging each dip, especially that come around that aquadiagonal trend line. Of course, I pointed that out right here in that green text bubble. That we should consider dollar cost averaging in on these dips here. And note I said dollar cost averaging in. I didn't say use a ton of your capital to buy in right here, then that's it, without having any clue if we could potentially come down to this orange diagonal trend line at 30,000 or even lower, this green diagonal trend line around 25, 26,000. You know, we don't know if we're going to see another sign of weakness again, or are we going to go up with a sign of strength again. We don't quite know that just yet. I need to see a little bit more time pass by in the 3-week, the 4-week. You know, that 4-week red RSI looks like it's about to go below level 50 to trigger downward pressure that lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes up to level 50. You know, we still need more time, because from what I'm seeing, we could still potentially come down to the white aqua lower B bands in that 27-day time frame, if you remember correctly. The white aqua lower B bands in that 27-day time frame. But if we're going to go down from this basis down to the white aqua lower B bands, number one, the red RSI needs to get below level 50, and it is currently, but it needs to close below it. And especially if this blue LSMA is on the verge of going below level 50, then we're definitely at risk of going down into the white aqua lower B bands. But that's going to take some time. These white aqua lower B bands are still rising, not falling. So the price for the aqua lower and the white lower, with each candle, they're going to be higher than what they are right now. So it's just going to take some time to figure that out. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. Sorry if I spoke loud then. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. So I'm not going to make a flat statement and say, we found bottom, we're done. Start accumulating with everything you have now. I'm not a hypester. I keep it real. If I don't know something, I'm not going to pretend like I know something and push a lot of hype like some other YouTube channels. I am not going to do that. I don't need your attention by acting with hype. Just be real. Just tell people what you do know and what you don't know, because sometimes we need to wait longer in order to know what we don't know. So again, we don't know what we don't know until we know it. All right, I think I'm going to call this quits, y'all. That's the immediate group, short-term group. Yeah. Now I'm wondering if this is going sideways here to allow time for the red RSI to get up there above level 50. So watch that in the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour, the 90 minute, the 2 hour. If we're going to go up from that white lower in the 2 hour, remember this now. This is important nugget. If we want to go up from that white lower B band, go up from that white lower B band in the 2 hour. If we want to go up from that white lower B band, it would help for that red RSI to get on up here above level 30. It would certainly help. But based on other things that I'm seeing right now, all it would have to do is go up above level 20. But if something else happens, no, it's going to need to get below. It's going to need to get above level 30, and I think that something else may end up happening. So we will have to wait for that red RSI to get above level 30 to have a chance of going up from that white lower B band to the basis, but then remain above the next candle after that. We still have some work to do in that 2 hour if we are to see that occur. Same thing in the 3 hour, same thing in the 4 hour. It's that 6 hour that has me concerned that we could keep falling lower, y'all, to that orange lower B band. To me, that's the most telling. This orange lower B band that's currently just below the aqua diagonal trend line. That green RSI is acting like it's wanting to come down here to this orange lower. That red RSI wants to go down below white aqua. White aqua meaning the current fair market value in this candle is between the white lower and the aqua lower B band at white aqua. And our current price is there just above halfway between the white, is currently just above halfway in between the white lower and the aqua lower B band. So the price action is currently about where the red RSI says it should be, but hey, be careful. We can end up all of a sudden overextending down the next candle, the next 6 hour candle that begins 3 hours, 16 minutes from now. There's a potential to fall down to that orange lower B band. The next 6 hour candle, if not the next 6 hour candle after that. So be careful of opening a long right now. Right now the trend is downward pressure. If anything, you should have opened a short. If I were you, if you have not opened a trade back up here earlier or around the basis earlier before it fell down, don't feel like you have to be in a trade. Wait for it to do whatever it's going to do and be prepared to open a long position instead. Don't rush a trade. Don't rush it. Your most important thing is consistency. If you can be consistent, you have a much better chance, much better odds of being a successful trader. That will often involve patience. So please keep that in mind. All right, I think I'm going to go and call this quits, y'all. I've been dragging on too long, and I need to get back to taxes, and I think my son was wanting to talk with me as well. Hopefully that we're still live here, because nobody's been saying anything for quite a while, so maybe that's a good thing, because maybe I was getting across what I need to get across to you in a way that you understand it, maybe. Man, I hope we were still live here, because I'm not seeing any chat in here. I'm going to call this quits. Yeah, it will be saved. I will not delete this stream. I will not delete this stream. Why? I need to get to 1,000 hours of views from all my followers, so that I can monetize my videos, so that at least I can earn a little bit of money from views, unlike Trading View. Trading View, I can't get paid for any views. I know it's not much. You don't get paid a whole lot from views, y'all. You don't. Now, if I had like 10 million subscribers with over 1 million views per video, yeah, that would probably be pretty good money, but I'm not expecting that. What I'm getting really would be considered chump change compared to what I'm making trading. You know, it's chump change. But at least I'm getting something for the time that I'm investing. And of course, if you would click a like, I certainly would appreciate it. And remember, I was only providing Bitcoin analysis. That's it. In fact, that's the way it's going to be here for a little while, just Bitcoin. If people want analysis, signals and whatnot for other pairs, especially altcoins, they have to join the website. I hope you can understand that, but I have to keep it that way. And there may be some altcoins where I provide signals for on the website, but you have another altcoin that I'm not providing signals for. Well, that's all the more reason why you need education, because I'm going to keep a strict rule on that. Meaning, me monitoring 23 assets, I cannot allow myself to get distracted by providing my opinion for another asset because somebody asked me for my opinion on another asset. If I get involved with that, creating charts for it that I likely don't have charts created for, doing all that, and then I get distracted from something else, and then I end up missing a signal or something, I can't allow that to happen. So that's all the more reason why if you end up coming to the website, especially when I begin offering basic service, basic will be signals only. That's it. Premium will be signals and education and premium chat and live stream. Access to live stream. Private live stream only done on Vimeo. That's it. Premium will have access to all that, not basic subscription. Basic subscription will be signals only. That's it. Which will be at $150 every quarter, because the premium price is going to go up from $150 a quarter to $250 a quarter. Once I do another section with multiple lessons, it'll be around $300 a quarter. Do another section with multiple lessons, it'll be around $350 a quarter. so on and so forth. But those who get in early while still in beta, their price is grandfathered in. It stays that price per quarter. Unless they stay away, if they allow their subscription to expire. And I expect that sometimes for people to say, all right, I got this. I believe I got this now. I've learned enough and I'm gone. But that may have been during a period of distribution, and now we're in a period of accumulation, and they're like, what do I do now? I can't remember on certain, let me go and subscribe back for another 3 months. I get that, I understand that, and I expect that. So if somebody allows their subscription to expire, as long as they are gone no more than 12 months, they will still have their grandfathered price that they paid per quarter. Whatever that may be when they got in during beta. Did they get in while it was $150 per quarter? Did they get in while it was $250 per quarter? You know, it depends on when they got in. Just letting you know that. But it may be, I'm going to go live with basic subscription probably in about another 3 weeks. I want some time with my premium subscribers, feedback from them, make sure communication is good with the signals and whatnot. I just want to make sure it's ready by getting feedback from my premium subscribers before I begin to go live with basic subscription. That will be at $150 every quarter, just letting you know that. And of course the premium subscription will go up from $150 a quarter to $250 a quarter, except for those who are already there who paid for $150 a quarter. All right. I'm going to go and call this quits, y'all. And I noticed, I could see the reflection off the TV that my son came to the door just a moment ago. He's wanting to speak to me about something. It's probably about a game that he wants, a video game or something. But anyway, I'm going to go and let you go. And we'll talk to you again soon. Plus, I need to get on business taxes. I've got to get that done. And I appreciate everyone coming here, joining me at the stream. Again, please follow. If you're not following already, subscribe, click like. Would certainly appreciate that as well. It helps push it up in the queue. Maybe more people will get to see it. And of course, feel free to share it with other people on Twitter, other social media, what have you. But we're going to call this quits. And as always, you know the drill. Let's stay awesome.